Today, I'm coming to tell my story. I know a lot of people don't know it, and I've tried my hardest to hold it in for a very long time.
Welcome back to Keisha Reacts. I'm your girl, Keisha. Thank you again for tuning in with me for another one. Now, this story from this creator is very heartbreaking. I will let you know ahead of time if you have a problem with essay or abuse. Please go ahead and click off this story because it is very touching. Thank you, and let's go.
When I was 11, my great grandmother passed away. My world, the only person who ever understood me. After she passed away, I had to live with my aunt. An aunt that didn't really want me to begin with. Now, I know all kids not perfect, but out of all the kids she had living with her, I was the only one that got abused the most. Anything that she could pick up and use to hit me or beat me with, she did. To the point where one time I even did. So I decided to run away. I've been on my own since I was 12 years old. Been living on the streets, living in abandoned houses, sleeping on bus stops, sleeping with any and every man I came across, just to have a place to stay, just to have food to eat, because I was still just a baby. My mother gave us up, me and my only sister, when we were babies, to our grandmothers. She chose drugs over us and been choosing them until he killed them. When I was 14 or 15, I don't really remember, but I got pregnant with Andrew. At first, I didn't even know who his dad was. And then I ended up meeting Poo Dad. By the time I met Poo Dad, I was 16. Again, a girl who didn't grow up with no mother and no one to teach her right from wrong or how to be a woman or any of that. So when I met Poo Dad, I was 16, he was 26 years old. I thought dating an older man was the right way to go. I thought that he was going to be able to teach me things and steer me down the right path. At least I fucking thought.
That is so sad. A lot of times in the community, you look up to people to protect us, and there's a lot of predators that live amongst us.
Sucks to say, I ended up getting pregnant with Poo at 17. DCF ended up catching up with me, and I had to go back to foster care. I spent 2 months in foster care because I was 17 when I had Poo and I turned 18 that following month, like the end of that next month. Once I turned 18, I got my own place. Aged out of foster care, got my own place, moved in with Poo Dad. Again, I had just turned 18. It was a long road, you feel me? This man was already on SSI when I met him. He didn't have a job. He didn't have his own place. He was living with his mom. And so the first place I got was because of me and foster care. As the years went by, we kept losing places. You know, I stopped going to school. I ended up getting pregnant with my mom. I lost the money from foster care. So now we're living off of one SSI check, which at the time was only $600 and something. So after that, we kept trying to find other places to stay. And most of those places wouldn't let us come stay there unless we were married. So of course, I take what money I did have, and we went down to the Joseph Caleb and we got married. Worst fucking decision of my life. Again, I was only 18. I did it because I thought it was the right thing to do. And of course, I was listening to at the time, 28-year-old man. Once I had mama at 19, 20 actually, that's when I started to expand my horizons. I started to meet new people. I started to find out new things. I started to see that I was in a Beauty and the Beast situation. He was the beast and I was the beauty. So after my mom, I decided to leave him. Upon me leaving him, we were living with his mom. So here I am, 19 years old, trying to leave. He wouldn't let me take my kids with me. I called the police and the police told me, ma'am, you have to take that up to court. We cannot remove the children out of the home. So here I am, 19, no family, no friends, know nothing about court, know nothing about taking anybody to court, knew nothing about fighting for kids because I was still a kid. Years went by, I had more kids, moved on with different relationships, still fighting to try to get my kids back. For a while, I got them back, and then I ended up losing them again. Mind you, this whole time of me getting them back and losing them, their father is still living with his mom. He had more than what I had. He had a mom. He had a family. He had somebody. I had nobody. It was just me. No family, no friends, nobody to help me, nobody to stand up for me or support me or my babies. So I gave up. I knew, at least I thought, he was a good father. So I just let them stay with him. Every time I turned around, somebody was telling me, Kalisha, you need to get your kids. You need to get your kids. Mama is getting a name for herself in the projects. You need to get your kids, especially your daughter. I didn't listen. I had already had 3 more kids, 2 more kids, 3 more kids. And now here I am living in a church with these kids. I didn't listen. Now here it is, years later. One is 17 and the other one is 16. I'm finna be 36 in December. Their father will be 46 next month. He is still living with his mom. He then decided, I don't know when, years ago, he says, he put me on child support. So now I owe thousands of dollars in child support. I've been calling, I've been trying to get it fixed. I've been told I have to make a motion in court to be heard. That shit takes money. I've been told so much. And meanwhile, I'm still trying to get back on my feet from a terrible fucking car accident that he almost pulled the plug on me on. Oh, and then I forgot to mention, while they was with him, he also got SSI for them. So now I can't even apply for food stamps for them because they receive SSI. Why? There's nothing wrong with these kids. They're not disabled. There is absolutely nothing wrong with these kids. I don't know what it is or how it is he got this shit going, but he receives all this money for these kids because he took care of them by himself when they were babies. So now he feels like he deserves to earn some type of money off of them for taking care of his kids. Like, what man does that? 46 years old, what man does that? What man takes from another woman just to see her struggling with his kids? What man does that? Y'all, I'm trying my hardest not to fucking cry, but I am tired. Everybody think I'm fucking strong, which I am, but I am tired. I am fucking tired. My oldest son gone because he don't want to help with nothing. I am tired. All I wanted to do was give my kids something that I didn't have. A mother. And I tried to get them a father. But I made bad choices in men. And this is the result in making bad choices in men. So So now I feel like I failed. I failed my kids. I failed myself. The people that I chose to be their father. Me having them at a young age because I just wanted a family. That's it. And now I just want to give up.
I am so sorry that everyone in your life failed you. They failed you miserably. They failed you to the point that this predator was able to come in and get you at a young age. You were groomed. This is not your fault at all. That nasty, dusty, rusty, disgusting, I bet you just stinky, still stay with his mom, living off of assistance, getting SSI for the kids. Bet you he never worked a day in his life, and I bet you are not the only victim out here. If he did this to you, I can imagine what he's done to other young women and victimized them.
I felt like I should share with y'all this strange ass time of my life. So when I was in 6th grade, my mom had sent me to live with my dad because she was struggling. I lived with my mom my whole life, but this was an adjustment for me. I remember that my dad picked me up from my mom's house at nighttime, and we got to his house, which him and his girlfriend lived together, so I want to say her house. We get to her house and he leaves me there with her 2 sons. She has a son that's younger than me at the time and a son that's older than me. So he leaves to get her from work, and I'm playing air hockey with her 2 sons in the basement. Once we got finished with the game, her oldest son hands me a folded up piece of paper. So I go upstairs, I sit on the couch, and I open the paper, and in the note is him confessing his feelings and his love for me. Remind y'all, I'm like 12 years old, I want to say 11, 12, and he's like 18.
Oh my God. She's a baby, and where's the father? You left your 12-year-old daughter with one older adult male, he's 18, and the younger one. There's no way.
So when I read the letter, my heart instantly dropped. Like, I'm instantly feeling fucking terrified inside. Plus, my dad is going to get in his girlfriend fucking work, so I'm like, oh my God. So he get back, I want to say like 20 minutes later, and when he get back, he sees that I'm like kind of shooken up, like my eyes are watery and I'm just irritated. I didn't say anything, I just handed him the note, and I was like really shooken up. So he knew something was wrong because I was very quiet around them, very shy, like I didn't show no emotions, I barely fucking talked. I hand him the note and crickets. No consequences were made on his end. He hands the note to his girlfriend. His girlfriend takes her son in the bathroom and give him a little talk. You can't do that. This is your soon-to-be sister-in-law. Go apologize to her, blah, blah, blah. She then goes on to tell me, don't tell your mom, like it's going to start so many problems, and this is going to happen, that's going to happen if you tell her. Remind y'all.
That has me heated. And I hear so many stories like that. It's ridiculous. I hear stories from young women who has fathers in their life, and they tell them incidents, and they're like, oh, it's not like that, or they're actually defending. And the crazy thing is, you ask some of these men, do you know anyone that has mistreated or essay a woman? And these are the same guys that say, no, not nobody in my male group, not no one that I know of. Absolutely. Because you guys, you feel like it's not an abuse thing.
My mom is crazy. She would not have even allowed me to stay another second over there. Like, she don't play about her kids. And now that I'm older, I wish I would have told my mom, but I actually listened to her and didn't tell my mom. So we continue on. I want to say a couple days later, I'm sitting down crisscross applesauce on the floor playing with the Nintendo. The oldest son comes downstairs and he sits across the room from me and he goes, "Oh, it's that time of the month, huh?" At that point, I froze up. I got uncomfortable. I went in the next fucking room. I didn't even say nothing to my dad because I feel like you didn't even say nothing about the first situation. So she also had a daughter that lived in a different city. Remind y'all, this is around Christmas time, and Christmas had passed. Once Christmas had passed, her daughter had came back to stay with us. Once her daughter got back to stay with us, everything that they had got me for Christmas, like electric scooter, iPod, etc., it became hers, which was fucking odd. But again, I'm a young dumbass bitch, so I wasn't thinking nothing of it at the time. Right after that, my dad and his girlfriend got into it really bad. I'm talking about terrible. Like, knives were pulled out and everything. Her oldest son, as they're getting into it, her oldest son goes to grab all my bags, all my belongings, and start throwing all my shit out on the yard, like on the lawn, like everywhere. All my clothes are spread all across the grass, like. So as her son is throwing my shit on the lawn, he's yelling, "Ever since you came here, it's been nothing but a mess." And he just throwing my shit. Sir, ever since I came, it's been a mess long before me. So me and her daughter starts going back and forth. We're bickering at this point. She's trying to argue with me. I don't know what the fuck I done did. Now why am I in it? So me and the daughter just started arguing. Mind y'all, I didn't really talk that much because I wasn't familiar. Like, I lived with my mom my whole life, so I was very shy over there. Baby, once that bitch got to running her mouth to me, I wasn't shy no more. Bitch, what you trying to do? So my dad is like, let him fight. My daughter whoop her. True. Baby, you might not know me that well, but you know something about something, because I was gonna tear her ass down. So we didn't end up fighting. The bitch didn't want to fucking see me. The bitch ain't want to see me. They just threw my stuff everywhere. So after that, my mom comes to get me, and it was just a mess. My mom comes and picked me up, and after that, my dad literally just up and moved to a different city, and I haven't seen much of the man since. Remind y'all, this happened when I was like 11, 12. I'm 22 years old now. I done had a baby and everything. I want to say I done seen that man like once or twice since that incident occurred. Like, it was a mess. And my mom did not find out about the letter until like when I was in high school and I went to therapy, and she sat through one of my sessions and I told her about the letter.
That guy, her father is a hot dang on mess. You try to have your daughter fight after you already traumatized her. You already ignore her abuse that she was going through mentally and emotionally. This creep was looking between her legs, and there's so much I can say. This issue is so much of a hot topic. It's a hot button rather.